Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. This year, we are taking the opportunity to interview some very talented entrepreneurs so that you can learn a little bit more about them and how they work. Please feel free to connect with any of our interviewees. Their contact details are going to appear in the description box below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and like or love our channel. Thanks. Phil, for those who don't know you and your work, what is ActionCoach?
Okay, so ActionCoach is a business coaching organization that operates in 72 countries around the world. But from my point of view, I bought a franchise with ActionCoach because what I wanted to do was enable other business owners, small business owners locally and in the London area to grow their business and ultimately to create a business that could work without them, whether that is making more money, whether that involves making more money, whether that involves getting in better control of our time, so we're getting best results from the time we're actually putting in, or whether that involves getting better results from our team. So what I do is I coach small business owners on a week-to-week or fortnight-to-fortnight basis to help them, help support them in the areas where they're not sure what they're doing, and to hold them to account when they know exactly what they're doing and they just need someone to give them a kick up the butt to make sure they're doing it.
Very nice, very nice. And look, for those of you who don't follow Phil on LinkedIn, I obviously recommend that you do. And your clients on there, they're always endorsing your services, how you increase sales and lead generation. How do you get these results?
Yeah, okay. So I suppose it depends who I'm sitting in front of. Like I said, there are certain people really that maybe they're great at what they do. They're a great accountant, for argument's sake. They're a great design agency. They're great at what they do. But what tends to happen is most people get into business accidentally. They become good at something, and then when they start their own business, even when they've been running it for a while, they realize maybe they've got holes in their education in terms of staff retention, in terms of lead generation, in terms of managing our time better, in terms of recruitment. So what I do is I help them in the areas where they've got dark spots in their knowledge base. But also there are people that know what they need to do. I call them ideas people, where they've got 727 ideas and they're not clear on what they need to do first and how to get started. And a lot of it leads to procrastination. So really my aim is to help people, keep them focused and give them clarity, I think, which is a key word, as to which route they want to go down and how they're going to get there. And then what I do is I hold them to account to make sure they're doing the things that we agree on in each coaching session. And mysteriously, that seems to work.
Okay, well, glad to hear. Magicians and tricks never revealed, but here they are today. So that's fantastic. But look, aside from that, you're very well known for your support of SMEs and business owners. Not all of them are your clients. I guess where does that motivation come from? Why do you have that passion?
Okay, so I used to run a marketing agency for 17 years, and for the last, I think it was 2 years before I actually stopped running that agency, I wanted to sell the business. So I actually hired a coach, an action coach as well, funnily enough, and he came in and told me, unfortunately, the business wasn't worth anything. So I was looking to sell maybe and to work out exactly what I wanted to do next. And I said, well, that doesn't make much sense. The business has been there for 17 years. We've got a great client base. We've got 15 great staff members, but it won't work without me, clearly. So what's going on? And he said, well, look, we need to systemize the business to actually get it to work without you. So we spent 2 years doing that. We reduced the reliance on me, essentially made myself redundant from my own business. And then we were in a position to sell the business. So then I thought, and to answer your question, then I thought, well, hang on a minute. Maybe there are other business owners that feel a little bit trapped. Maybe they're not particularly excited about their business anymore. They've fallen out of love with it to an extent. So I could maybe help them systemize the business. But then it became apparent that it's just not only about systemization, it's about building profit, it's about getting better results from the team, and it's about getting better results from your time as well. So I figured that because I'd enjoyed being coached so much, I would actually look at becoming a coach so I could help other people. And part of the pleasure I get is my clients' wins. When I hear that they've actually sealed a huge contract, or whether when I find out they've hired someone that's working out really well for them. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
No, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, great. And look, back to this systemization and everyone working differently. Just be interested to get your take. We're on Zoom now. We love Zoom. But do you think, and are you advising your clients about the dangers of going too virtual in their business, or are you totally, all for it?
I'm all for testing and measuring. So I do know people that say, look, I can only sell when I'm face to face. I can't sell on Zoom. I think partly that's an excuse. So a lot of people will use Zoom or use virtual as an excuse as to why they're no good, why they can't do something. But I would always challenge those people and say, so what you're telling me is that no one can sell on Zoom, no one can make this happen. And then when they start to think a bit more logically about things, they might think, oh, actually, it can work. It can work really well. We can build relationships. Personally, my personal opinion is that face-to-face is better than Zoom, because you do lose something. And although meetings do tend to stick to time better on Zoom, what tends to happen is face-to-face, there's a little less pressure in terms of time, and actually some of the tangential discussions that we have can actually bring out some great ideas that you wouldn't necessarily get when you're stuck in a half an hour or a 1 hour time frame on Zoom.
No, it's interesting to get your take on it, and thanks for that. Look, obviously, as ever, any conversation with you, a lot of interesting ideas, and hopefully for people watching, a lot of sparks flying as well as to how you could potentially collaborate together in the future. Just for those people wondering how to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Okay, so they can either email me at the email address behind me, which is philipchantry@actioncoach.com, or alternatively, they can, if this is going out on LinkedIn, they can just direct message me on LinkedIn, and happy to have an introductory chat, a virtual coffee if you like, on Zoom, just to find out a bit more about what you're trying to achieve, how you're trying to achieve it, and maybe what's stopping you getting there at the moment. But more than happy to catch up in that method.
Okay, great. So yeah, for anyone watching wants a virtual coffee, check out the description below. Thanks,
Fantastic.
Phil.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Appreciate your time.
Pleasure.